Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about rumination again, and I'm going to be giving you a few more tips on how to overcome overthinking and destructive thoughts. Hey guys, welcome back to Millennial Ships, your place for self-care and dating advice. And today I wanted to give you guys another video on rumination and a few more tips on things that I think are very, very helpful. So if you don't know what rumination is, it's basically when you kind of think things over and over again without coming up with any solutions. You kind of just go over things in your head, and it's really destructive. It's definitely something that leads to depression and anxiety. So it's a really bad habit that you're definitely going to want to stop doing. My last video on rumination focused on mindfulness, taking action, making a control plan, and exercising. But if you want some other really great tips, I've got a good list for you guys to work on today. So the very first tip I have for you guys is journaling. So the problem when we ruminate is that we're going over the same thing in our head over and over again. And the problem with doing this is when you're in your own head, it gets a little one-sided. I mean, there's really only one person in there and the opinion of one person. So it can be a little destructive to be constantly asking the same person over and over again what you should be doing about this problem or worrying about it. So a way to kind of separate yourself from your thoughts is to write them down. When you write things down, you're not only able to kind of release that tension from your mind, you're actually able to look back over on it and really kind of think about what you're talking about and what you're doing. So you can either use anxiety journal prompts, or you can just kind of do that little trick where you just write down every single thought that comes into your head. So with no filter, you just write. And the more you do this, the more you're going to kind of feel like you're releasing things, you're releasing energy, and you're also being able to like look back on it with a bit of a critical eye and see exactly what you're worrying about, and be able to pinpoint it a little bit better. Another thing that you can do to get out of your head is to actually say your thoughts out loud. So this is probably one that you want to do like when you're on your own, or you're alone so that nobody can really hear you doing this. But saying your thoughts out loud is really, really effective, and I'll tell you why. It's because when we're thinking in our heads, we actually don't think in terms of like the English language. We don't think in language. We actually think in abstract thoughts and feelings and pictures. That's kind of how we think. We picture something that we might be worried about happening, and then we associate a feeling to it. So that's how we think in our minds. So when you actually turn those thoughts into words, it's a totally different experience. It allows you to really pinpoint exactly what you're thinking about, what you're worried about, and you're able to easily go over a thought, like have a thought in your head repeatedly, but you're not as easily able to actually say that thought out loud repeatedly. It gets a little bit kind of frustrating and, repetitive. It sounds kind of weird. So your body will be more able to recognize a sign of repetition and like odd behavior when you're actually saying it out loud. So it's a really good way to remind yourself that overthinking the same thought over and over again is not helpful, and it's just a really great way for you to see that yourself. The next tip I have for you guys is that you should listen to music that makes you feel relaxed, happy, or motivated. This is a really great tip because I don't know about you guys, but I do feel like a really spiritual and emotional connection with music. Whenever I'm listening to music, I feel like it's directly tied to my emotions. Like listening to a really happy song can make me feel happy, listening to a sad song can make me feel sad. So because music has this really strong pull towards our emotions, it's a really good tool to use whenever we want to kind of get out of our heads and sort of change things around a little bit. And the great part about music is that, nowadays we have music everywhere we go. I mean, it's on our phone. We can just pop in some headphones. Most workplaces allow you to listen to music. You can go for a walk and listen to music. So it's a very accessible tool that we have that can literally just turn our brain off completely and just have us focusing on something else. So listening to music, having that playlist that you go to when you want to feel motivated or relaxed, or even angry music can be good sometimes to get out that emotion. Whatever you need to do to kind of listen to music and get you distracted and out of your brain is going to really help with ruminating thoughts. The next thing I have for you guys to help with ruminating thoughts is to not fight those thoughts. So don't fight back on them. So when you are ruminating and you notice that you have kind of gone into this little spiral, don't feel like, oh my God, I'm doing this again. I should not be doing this. I have to stop. I have to think of something else. Because if you're kind of beating yourself up about the fact that you're ruminating, what you're doing here is you're actually focusing on the past. And the key to, relieving rumination or anxiety, all of that stuff, it's not about focusing on the past or even the future. It's about grounding yourself back to the present. It's about reminding yourself that you're actually safe right now. Nothing's happening to you right now. And the things you're worrying about are either in the past or in the future. They're not right now. So when you ruminate and then you beat yourself up about ruminating, that's actually focusing on the past. So you're ruminating again. You're still ruminating. So you're just kind of continuing down that spiral. So you do not ever want to fight those thoughts or beat yourself up about it, about having those thoughts. What you want to do is focus on what you can do now. So when you discover yourself in this place, you want to say to yourself, okay, I'm ruminating now. What should I do next? Should I listen to music? Should I call up a friend? Should I talk it out? Should I write things down? That is helpful thinking, and beating yourself up about it or being like, oh God, why am I doing this again? Is just not going to help at all. Another tip that I want to leave you guys with here is that practice makes perfect. So I want to stress this point really badly because, these little tips and tricks that I'm giving you guys, if you go and try them and you think, okay, maybe it worked a little bit, but it didn't really work that well, and then you kind of just stop doing those tricks because maybe they didn't work or they weren't as effective as you thought they'd be, that's really not the point. Practice makes perfect in this case. Positive thinking, changing your mindset, breaking old habits, that stuff does not come easy. You're not just going to be able to take a list like I'm giving you right now and be like, great, I'm going to do this little list and I'm going to be good to go. It's not like that. The concept of this is based on CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which means that you have to continuously practice these methods before you're going to really start seeing results. So if you try one of these things and you found that it didn't really work, try it again. Try it again, try it another time, try a different one, see which ones work better, and understand that it's a working progress and it's not something that just comes to you easily. So don't give up on these tips right away. Definitely keep working on them, and the more you keep working on them, the easier it's gonna get. So guys, before I leave you, I wanted to just reiterate the fact that I think that people who overthink, people who worry, they're anxious, I think myself included, I feel people like that, we care about others. We care about what other people think of us. We care about our place in the world. And at the end of the day, those are all positive traits. So the fact that we ruminate or that we overthink or worry, those things are like a byproduct. Those are like negative byproducts to positive traits that are overall a good thing. There are people in the world that can just kind of go about their day doing their thing. They don't care about what other people think. They don't care about the impact that they're having on others or the world. And, that might work for them. That might be great. And I'm sure they have strengths too. But we definitely bring a different aspect, like a different skill to the table here. We care about others. We're sensitive. We want to please. We want to help. And those are all really good things. So when I'm talking about all these tips on how to stop rumination and how to get rid of this stuff, it's not because, it's a bad thing. It's just because you guys might feel a little bit of relief. Like you feel a little bit of relief when you kind of overcome this. But it's not because you're wrong or you're doing something bad. It's actually a byproduct of a lot of positive things and a positive thing that you're bringing to the world. So I hope that leaves you guys with some helpful tips and a little motivation on that, this stuff's not always easy and that it just takes a little bit of practice and work and you will get there. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give me a like or a comment down below to let me know that you guys are digging these videos, and I will see you guys on the next one.